Hi, welcome to this overview of the HP Slate 500 tablet PC. This just started shipping out to customers at the middle of last week. We'll go over what's included in the box. Everything that you see here is what's included in the box, and we'll spend the bulk of our time going over the unit itself. First of all, I'll show you the box that it actually comes in. It's a rather Spartan black and gray box with no markings on it indicating that it's an HP Slate 500 other than a sticker on the side. I won't show that as it contains a serial number. But the interesting thing about it is that for now HP is shipping this unit in a larger box which contains 4 empty boxes and the HP Slate itself, and it's an exact fit. There's no packing, popcorn, or paper whatsoever. So it's a little odd how they're shipping, and I imagine they'll change that eventually. So going over the contents of that unmarked box, we have a little microfiber patch that comes with a lot of devices these days. I have a lot of these. It's very important, I think, to have microfiber cloths to keep your screen clean, to keep the gunk and fingerprints off of them. Next up, we have some documentation that I've not read. Nothing major here, just a couple little pamphlets. Next up, we have the power brick, and this isn't exactly the power brick that ships with it. The bottom part, this is a standard HP design, so this bottom part is actually the one for my TM2, as this cord is longer and I just wanted a little extra length for a couple of things I was doing with the Slate. Next up, we have the dock, and this is rather nice. It actually has a nice rubberized textured feel to it. The stand pops in and out very nicely and stays very secure. This is the power plug for it, HDMI out, 2 USB ports, and a headphone jack. One thing to note, you only have one power supply, of course, included with the unit. And if you have this dock set up as a permanent dock, you'd probably want to get another power supply. I'm looking at ordering one now. I haven't seen it yet on HP's site, but I'm sure they'll have one available. What's nice about this dock, of course, is that you don't actually have to use it as a dock. You can just use it as a stand. And it pops right in, zero insertion force there. And it works very nicely as a stand. Next up, we have the carrying case, and this is actually quite nice. It's a leather look and feel to it, at least, if it's not really leather. And it's form-fitted for the Slate. It's got cutouts for the rear and for the, you can see that hole there, for the front-facing cameras. And there's a holder for the pen, and it pops in and out quite easily. You just slide in the left first, because the right actually has elastic on it so that pulls out and slips over, and it just takes a second or two to get it into place, and it fits rather nicely. What's also nice about it too is that you cover it, when you fold it up, it has an elastic band that goes around it, and that'll hold it in place. And from afar, it looks like just a leather portfolio, notebook portfolio. In fact, you wouldn't know that it's a piece of technology unless you saw the sides. I've carried this around in Best Buy, and if you take something in the Best Buy, like a laptop or something, they always put a sticker on it to identify it as yours. I've carried this into a couple of Best Buys, and no one's even noticed what this was. So it's rather, I like this because it's very discreet, and it doesn't scream, look, I'm a piece of technology or a geek or whatever. So that's nice. Finally, we have the pen. Just to let you know there, I dropped this the other day, so there's a little black plastic ring that goes around the top of the battery cap This pen uses a battery, just to let you know. And I put a piece of electrical tape on it to cover up the top here. This is made out of aluminum, so this top is a little sharp. My mistake. The pen still functions perfectly or normally, so that's that. And to let you know as well, the total carrying weight for everything that you see here, I'll put everything back into view. The total carrying weight for all this stuff is right at 3 pounds. So that's the power supply, the leather portfolio, the dock, the pen, and the unit itself. So it's actually quite light and very portable. So that's good it's a good thing, I think. So if you want to carry this around with the dock and everything, it's going to weigh less than most laptops. So not bulky at all. So let's move all this stuff out of the way except the pen. We'll be using that in this quick overview here. But let's take a look at the unit itself. It's about 1.5 pounds, and I forget the exact dimensions here, but I think it's about 9.5 inches wide. It's a 1/2 inch thick, and maybe about 6 inches deep. Don't quote me on that. I'm just quoting off the top of my head, but you can look the dimensions up. But it's feels very nice and light to me. I don't think it's heavy at all. The back is that back that's been floating around, that HP rubberized kind of textured back. It's very nice. It makes the unit actually easy to hold. It's not a slippery metal or glass back, so it's just feels very nice. The warmth, it's a fanless design, so this unit actually runs dead silent. It's actually kind of unusual even for an Atom-based machine. This is an Atom Z540 1.86 gigahertz Atom CPU with 2 gigs of RAM. There's the camera. And it's, like I said, feels very nice, very balanced, nothing loose. Just very solid. It feels like a slate. So, now let's take a look at what we've got here on the unit. There's our front-facing camera. If you can see that little dot there, that's the front-facing VGA camera. It's your typical, $20 quality type of VGA cam quarter. The back one is actually quite nice. It actually takes a rather decent video. The front's not nearly as good, but of course that's just basically used for Skype and whatever kinds of video conferencing software you might want to use on it. The bottom here we have, of course, the power connector and the dock connector, 2 speakers, pretty good volume on this device. Rotating it around on to the left, we have a speaker output or a headphone jack speaker output port. And here we have our power switch. This switch serves also as the lock for the screen rotation. As you can see, it's not rotating when I have it locked. Now if I unlock it and rotate it, it rotates. And that's actually not great compared to, of course, an iPad or some other devices, but it's pretty good. That just popped up the Nook there. I'll be doing a video on e-readers, and just to let you know, the Nook reader works quite well on this. Kindle works well on this, and there's a couple others that I've not tried yet. I have them on other devices, but they should work fine, but I'll be covering e-reading in a separate video. To get back to our desktop here, and then let's see here, we've got to go to the top of the unit. We have the home button, and that's just basically minimizes all open windows and brings you to the desktop. This is the infamous Control-Alt-Delete key. This is actually quite important for a device that works in the enterprise, as this is it's supposed to be a tamper-resistant method of actually logging into domains. So that actually isn't this is not for rebooting the machine. This has really nothing to do with that. This is a security feature. At the top, the very top of the unit, we have our sole integrated USB port, and it's got a cover on the top of it. It's a little tight and a little inflexible. It'll probably get more so over time, but it seems to be in there pretty nicely. It shouldn't come off even with wear and tear. It should stay there pretty securely, and even if it did, I'm not sure how big of a deal it would be. It's just a open USB port, which you have on pretty much any laptop out there. But there's our sole USB port on the unit, and we have a volume rocker switch. And this is the keyboard button for popping the keyboard in and out. Actually, it's not just the keyboard, it's called the tablet input panel because it also serves as the inking panel if you want to use ink. And I have a separate video out there already covering inking extensively, so I won't go over it here. And then finally we have an SD card slot, and so that makes this unit very cool to use with a digital camera. And so you can just pop your card in there and use whatever website software that you want to use. It is an Atom-based machine, so it won't run everything that fast, but it'll do nice quick edits, upload things to the web, and it serves as a nice viewer. If you want to look at pictures that you've taken them on the road or whatever, you can show them to your family and friends. Overall, this is a very nice unit. I've been using it fairly extensively for the last 4 days, and I'm quite impressed with what HP has done with it. It retails right now at $800. There's only one version, no configuration options, no integrated 3G. However, with this USB port, you can use a USB dongle. And actually, I just got this today. This is the Pantech 4G modem from Verizon. This is their new LTE technology. And in my preliminary tests, I'm very impressed with it. So that's something that if you actually need 3G, they have two versions of these modems right now. I got this one because this one fits a little better in the tablet. I'll just demonstrate that quickly here. You just stick it on the top, and as I said, this port is a little tight, but nothing major there. And what I liked about this, it was the other modem didn't flip up, so the unit didn't lay perfectly flat. Now with that in, it lays perfectly flat if it's flipped up. So just something to let you know, that's actually a very nice thing to have if you want to take this thing on the go and you want a 3G option. So any 3G modem, well, not any 3G modem, you would probably want to make sure that it fits in there properly before you actually buy one. So there you have it, a nice quick overview of the new HP Slate 500. It's a very nice machine. I think it's going to be great for people who really, basically this is a touchscreen netbook. Has a bit better performance than your average netbook. It's kind of a high-end, mid to high-end range netbook in terms of performance that are based on Atoms. This is a single core Atom, so it's not the fastest Atom out there, but it is a fanless design. It does have a Broadcom HD accelerator chip, and it does play 1080p videos. I'll have another review covering that as well. So there you have it, the HP Slate 500. So far, it's proving to be a quite impressive piece of hardware, and we'll be taking a look at specific functions later. Take care.